Okay, it's been a while since I've done a stream, so today I'm going to start working on hosting my own Mastodon server. Let's see. Okay, now YouTube seems to be a little happier, I hope. Yeah, that seems to be a little better. Okay, let's give this a whirl. No, YouTube's still not happy. Okay, let's give. Okay, we may have solved our issues here. This looks better. No dropped frames. Okay, we will go with this. If there are any issues, let me know in the chat. All right. We are going to work on self-hosting a Mastodon server. And we're going to go through the whole process, or most of the process, I hope. I don't know if we'll get through it all in this one. But we're going to run it using a couple different tools, and I can maybe draw out what we will do. So first things first, we have my server. This is a machine that I have hosted. It's a physical machine that I have. It has Docker on it, as you can see. And right now all it has is just a container called netdata for monitoring the actual machine. But we are going to use Docker and Docker Compose to set up the necessary things for Mastodon. So within this node, we will have Docker running. And then within here, we will have a bunch of different containers. One's going to be Mastodon. The other is going to be Postgres for the database, which is what Mastodon uses. We also need Elasticsearch for searching. And Mastodon also uses Redis. In this Mastodon thing, there's actually a couple of containers. There's a streaming server. There's a Sidekick server, which is like a jobs queuing system. So that's what we need to actually run the instance. Next thing that we need is a domain. So my domain that I have is going to be zsiegel.social. And this domain lives in Cloudflare. And the reason that I'm using Cloudflare is because they also offer something called R2 storage. So this is object storage that is S3 compatible. So all of the assets and media and data and whatnot from here can work with this. The other thing that we are going to use is Cloudflare tunnels. And this is a technology that basically connects my DNS name and Cloudflare's infrastructure and network into the instance over here. And there will be a Docker container running Cloudflare tunnel, which will then allow access to the rest of the world via this domain to this instance, right? I do have a static IP for this machine, but I prefer not to expose those types of things. Cloudflare tunnels is a great solution for this, so that's what we're going to use. I'm going to focus on just getting this stuff set up first. I don't know if we'll get to all of the rest of this, but we'll give it a shot. Okay, so first things first. The documentation is actually pretty good. There's a little section here on preparing your machine. I've already done most of this, and it doesn't really apply because I'm running Alpine Linux on the machine. But also some of this other stuff isn't really relevant because I am blocking this with all of this stuff is sort of taken care of at the Cloudflare level and at the Cloudflare tunnel level. So that's easy enough. We aren't going to do sort of the installation from source. We're actually going to use Docker to handle all of this. And if we go to their repo, we can get things started and use what they have here sort of as a base. So let's just poke around in here. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at what we've got and just get a feel for what is Mastodon. So Mastodon is a Rails backend with, I believe, I don't know if it actually has like an actual node front end or a separate front end. No, it's probably all just one. So yeah, it's a Rails backend. And the things that we are interested in here are the following. First is env.production.sample. So this is the configuration file that we can use to get this up and running. So we're going to have to create our own configuration file, and we'll use this sort of as a base for that. The other things that are interesting to us are the Docker file and Docker Compose. Now, I'm not going to make any customization to this. I'm just running sort of bog standard Mastodon. But if you wanted to make customizations to this for whatever reason, you can. But I'm just going to use the official image, and I'm going to use it, the official image, from Docker Hub pinned to a version. Latest release over here, latest stable release is 3.5.3, so we'll use that. But what is interesting is this Docker Compose file, and this is what we're going to use as the basis for our actual deployment. So this is what we will change and or customize to make available to our setup. So let's go ahead and do a couple of things. We're going to want our own sort of version of this, and let's get that set up. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my home lab configuration. And this is a repo that holds a bunch of Docker Compose files for these nodes. And I showed you before, I'm on node on 2. I've got a couple of servers. Yeah, node on 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to sort of set this all up, and then GitLab CI will actually, go into these servers and actually just deploy things, right? So I just commit or change things to Docker Compose in here, and then I use sort of this remote Docker capabilities where you can point your Docker instance at another machine, or a Docker instance running on another machine, and control that. So we're going to go ahead and do Docker node 02, and then we are going to need a Docker compose.yaml, and we are going to copy the official one over, and we're also going to copy over... no, we won't copy the configuration file over. Actually, yes, we will. We're not going to store the configuration file in the repo. That's bad. But we'll leave it in here just as a reference. All right, so let's take a look at this from top to bottom. So the database is going to be available at DB. I'm going to rename this Postgres. It's running Postgres 14 Alpine. It's set to restart always, which is good. We want this running on internal network. I'm just going to rename this to Mastodon so it doesn't really clash with anything else. Health check, that's fine. Volumes. Okay, so this is an interesting one. So in order for this to not be totally broken, we need the data to be persistent, particularly for the database, right? That's where Mastodon keeps all of its goodies. And so right now it's assuming that wherever it's launching, it's going to be in here, which is wrong. So on my machine, I have ZFS running on 2 SSDs in a RAID 1 configuration. And I have a folder called Docker that is where we are going to store this stuff. So we are going to create a new folder called Mastodon. And this is where everything's going to go. So we're going to create separate directories for each of the things that we need. So we need Postgres. And so then, if we look at this right, our volume, or where this data is going to be stored, is going to be /tank/docker/mastodon /Postgres, right? So this will be storing the Postgres data on the ZFS instances. Okay, so that's our Postgres instance. Redis, same thing. Restart always 7 We want it on the Mastodon network. And this is also going to be on our ZFS volume, but this is going to be under Redis. So we've got a Redis folder. Elasticsearch. So Elasticsearch is required if you want to search on your server. This is something that I do want. So we are going to uncomment this. And let's take a look through this. I don't think there's going to be much that we want to fuss with in here. External and internal network. I don't know why they would do that. Is the search available publicly? Installing optional features. Full text search. Mastodon supports full text search when Elasticsearch is available. Mastodon's full text search allows logged in users to find results from their own tools, their favorites, and their mentions. It deliberately does not allow searching for. Okay. This is to localhost only, inaccessible from the outside network. Consider that anyone can access modified. Yeah, so why is this on multiple networks? That seems weird. Okay, we'll come back to this. But again, we just want this to be on Mastodon. That's fine. And then again, we want this to be on Elasticsearch, and we will Elasticsearch. Create a new directory for it. Oops. Okay. Redis, and I'm gonna name this Elasticsearch. I don't really like the abbreviation stuff. This is all fine. This is only there. I'm also going to manually... no, this is fine. I'll leave that for now. All right, so web. So this is the actual instance. So this is where we are going to make probably a couple of more changes. So the latest version is 3.5.3. So we're going to use the image, the public image, and we're not going to use latest. We're going to use 3.5.3. Okay. The M file, m.production, we'll leave that as is. That's fine. Restart always. Again, this is going to be on the Mastodon network. This is fine. It depends on Postgres, Redis, and Elasticsearch. The funny thing is that this depends on... I don't really know if that actually works in Docker. I can't remember, but it doesn't really matter. We'll leave it. And then Mastodon public system will be hosted in Mastodon / Mastodon. Okay. This is the streaming server. Again, we want the regular image. We're not going to build our own. This is, again, on the Mastodon network. This depends on Postgres and Redis. That's fine. Same thing with Sidekick. Postgres. Public system. Oh, okay, interesting. So this has access to public system. Okay. So basically we want to give you access to that same thing. Oops. Went a little too far there. That. I don't care about this Tor stuff. Wait, is that what that was? Yeah, Tor. Don't care about that. And I will set up our network. Our Mastodon internal is true. Yeah, that should do the trick. All right, so now let's turn our attention to env.production.sample. Okay. So there is a way to generate this file, I would guess, based on what this is saying. There's sample. You can generate your configuration with the Rake Mastodon Setup Interactive Setup Wizard. Okay. So let's do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run this locally. I'm going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to run this locally. But what we'll do is we'll run it on our machine and we'll try and generate our actual configuration. So let's just copy. We'll copy this over to our setup, and we will give it a try. And I'm going to open up VS Code to my server. Oh, it might not work because this is Alpine. Well, we'll see if it works. If not, we'll just have to be going in and out of. Maybe it's working? No, that's not going to work. Okay, that's fine. We will do this the old-fashioned way. All right, so we will bring over our setup. Then, what did this thing say we could do? You can generate your configuration with the Rake Mastodon Setup Wizard. Okay. How would we go about doing that, though? I'm trying to think what happens. Okay, let's just give this a try here. I'm trying to think of where it's going to put the configuration file if I just run that command in a temporary thing. But let's just try this. Okay, so we want to run this image, and we're gonna run rake Mastodon :setup. Oh, what did I miss? Well, I don't need to RM. This is fine. Okay, fine. What? Is my URL wrong? Maybe I got my URL wrong. That's definitely possible. This should be fine. 353. Docker, well, yeah. Mastodon 353. Manifest unknown. Do I have to do this as, I don't remember how I have this server set up. I might have this server set up pretty strict. Nope. Is 353? Oh, V353. Okay, fine. Fine. You got me. Okay. There we go. So what I'm trying to do is I'd like to use this setup tool that they're referencing to generate this file rather than coming in here, because I think it's going to generate some keys and things like that. So I'd like to use their tool to do it, but I don't know where that M file is going to come out. So oh, great. You've already activated me. Bundles. All right, I'm just going to let's just go into the container. And let's just try and run this and see what it complains about. Nope, doesn't like that. Bundle exec may solve this. Okay. All right, what does the Docker file do? It's clearly something that is missing. Let's do bundle install. Okay. No. You have already activated rake 13.3, but your gem file requires rake 13.06. Is this like a problem in their Docker file? Bundle-clean-force. Oh. Yes, there we go. Okay. So my domain is zsql.social. Single user mode disables registrations and redirects the landing page to your public profile. Do you want to enable single user mode? Yes. So I am running, or I want to run, a single user instance. I don't want anybody else on my server. Are you using Docker? Yes, I am. Postgres. The host is going to be Postgres, port 5433. The name of the Postgres SQL database, we're just going to leave that as default. Name of the user is also going to be Postgres, and password. Okay. Let me generate a password. It's probably something that we should do. Make it nice and secure. Let's do this. All right, new item. Password. Mastodon. Postgres. We said the username was Postgres and the password is this. All right, I'm gonna copy that over. Try again. No, just keep going. Redis 6379. The Redis password. Okay, we need a Redis password. Mastodon Redis. Password, create a new one. No. Oh, that's funny. It does that, but it doesn't do this. I mean, whatever. Do you want to store uploaded files on the cloud? Yes, I do. We're going to use Amazon S3. Well, technically, we're going to use Cloudflare R2. But it's S3 compatible, right? And we get 10 gigs of storage for free and 1 million Class A and 10 million Class B operations. So we want Amazon S3. The S3 bucket name. Okay, so let's, it's free. I'm gonna bring this over here. Complete purchase, but I'm not purchasing anything. Okay, so we can create a bucket. It's going to be called mastodon.zsql.social. Well, we'll call it mastodon.files. Oh, mastodon files -zsql-social. Okay. All right, so this is the S3 bucket name. The region, oh boy. What is the region? Cloudflare R2 S3 region. I'm guessing I can specify any region. When using the S3 API, the region for R2 bucket is auto. Okay, so I can set it. Wait. For compatibility with tools that not allow you to specify an empty value and US East 1 will alias to the auto region. All right, but I can set this to auto. S3 host name. So this is probably... Is there anything about host name in here? No. I'm going to go ahead and guess that this is the host name. Access key. Generate an S3 auth token as the access key for usage. You must purchase R2 before you can do that. R2 account home, R2 manage API tokens. Okay. R2 manage API tokens, and we will create an API token over here. Okay, so it's asking me permissions. It's going to need edit permissions, I assume. How long will this token be active? A long time. So today, end date. I don't know, I'm gonna put it way out, way out in the future. Okay. IP address range filters. Ooh, that'd be kind of nice. Well, that's fine. I don't need to do that. All right, so we're creating the API token. And because this might leak, I'm going to pull this over here for a second. I don't know if it's going to do this right or not. But so it's basically asking me for the access key. But it's giving me the ID and the secret access key. I don't remember. Well, let's take a look at this. Oh yeah, okay, so it's got to be asking me for both of these. Okay. All right, so this is the access key, I'm guessing. And the secret key is this. I'm glad I put this over here because it doesn't... Do you want to access the uploaded files from your own domain? Well, how do I do that? Public buckets first exposes your bucket as a custom domain under your control. Great. Spec exposes you may choose to do both. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. Yes, domain for... Okay, so the domain is going to be mastodon-files.zseagull.social. Do you want to send emails from localhost? No. I'm going to use Mailgun. I need a Mailgun account. Okay, well, first things first, we need to save these S3 things. So one moment. Mastodon S3, not S4, S3. Access key ID and secret access key. Save. So now we need a Mailgun account. So you need to be able to send emails, and Mailgun is a free and cheap thing, so we can use that. I don't think I have a Mailgun account. Whoa, wait a minute. Is Mailgun not free anymore? Oh, that's cool. You can't even get out of it. Pricing. $0 a month. Trial. Yeah, that's what I want. Free for 30 days. Foundation trial. Plan total. Start your, then only $35 a month. After your trial, you'll be moved to the Foundation 50K, but you can always select, oh, so these guys are doing some pricing BS. Okay. Well, what else do they recommend for mail? Because that seems sketchy. Configuring your environment. Email. Well, they don't have anything there. You know what? I could use an email provider. Mailgun, SparkPost. Do these guys have a free account that isn't nonsense? No, I don't want a demo. I just want to see your pricing. Really? This is why so many SaaS companies suck. They won't just tell you. SparkPost pricing. God, was that so hard? Test. $0 a month. Free test account. For new senders getting started with email send. Compare sender. Okay. All right. That's what we want. All right. So we'll go with SparkPost. Okay. SparkPost. Mastodon SparkPost. Create a new password, use sparkpost.com. Copy. I agree to the terms, but don't send me a ton of emails. CAPTCHA, create account. All right, 500 emails a month for free. Yes, please. Okay. We need to add a sending domain. Okay, so we will do this as mastodon-mail .zsiegel.social. How about that? Verify domains for strict alignment. Yes. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to set up records in Cloudflare for domains. And so what we have to do is we have to set up a couple of DNS records. So let's do that now. Update DNS configuration. Okay, so what it's asking me to do is setting up a TXT record with a specific host name and value. So we're going to do add record TXT. And this is the name. And this is the value. That's one record. And then we need a CNAME from Mastodon Mail to SparkPost. Okay. Mastodon Mail to SparkPost. And both of these records are proxied. So effectively, I can show you what I have, right? zsiegel.social now has two things, a CNAME record and a text record. And so these are basically to verify the email domains that I'm setting up. So I've set these up. I'm verifying the domain. And it says, you have successfully verified the DKIM record and let's do that again. Unable to verify CNAME record. Okay. Oh, this is set to auto. Because it's proxied. Okay, so this one might take a minute or two. That was stupid of me. All right, so we're just gonna keep futzing around here. All right, well, we can keep going. So username for this we'll just do a dummy. Send emails from notifications at zsiegel.social. So yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We might have to adjust this. This might need to be Mastodon mail. But we'll come back to that. No, I don't want to send a test email. This configuration will be written to end production. Save configuration, yes. So this is what we want. If the database already exists, this will erase this context. Prepare the database now. No, we'll come back to that. Okay, so now in this container, I have my M file that I will want on my actual server. And it's probably got some secrets in it, so I'm going to have to keep that a little safe from you all. But that's okay. Man, this still isn't going out there? Come on. Mastodon-mail .zsiegel.social sparkpostmail.com. Okay, let's do this. There we go. Okay, these are verified. Excellent. All right, cool. And I guess I'll proxy this. I don't think that should be a problem, or I hope that won't be an issue. All right, so again, the file that is .m.production, this is my file. So I need to save this to my server in a good place. So where do we do that? We need this. We need this essentially in here. So touch.env.production. All right, and now I gotta copy this file. So let's do this. Well, first I'm gonna inspect it. Cat dot. Okay. I'm going to copy this all, and I'm going to put this in my 1Password. Secure note Mastodon config. Save that. .m.production, copy everything here. Okay. All right, so we have our M file created. And it's living here, right? So this is where our Docker Compose file will go eventually, and then it will use all these folders here. What's next? So now I think what we can do is we can bring over our configuration. And put this in here. And we should be about there. We are going to need to migrate the database. And we do need to set some Postgres configuration stuff. So let's go ahead and look at this. So we have to set the username and passwords and all that stuff accordingly. So really the only one we need to set is Postgres_password, because that is what we set, or we use the defaults for the username and the database, so this is fine. So basically we're gonna pull this value that lives in our env production, right, sample. So in here, right, oh, it's actually db pass, so we're gonna say just use that, right? So this will create the actual instance with this password. Redis, we did give a password as well, so we're gonna have to configure that. Not that we probably really need it, but whatever. A few things about security. I don't remember Docker Redis password. You know what? I'm just not going to require a password for Redis. That's kind of silly. Especially because it's all internal. All right, I'm going to change that. 1 second. So I'm just going to go in here and remove the Redis password, because it really doesn't need one. Okie dokie. Then the only other thing we need to change the actual Spark post things. Yeah. So we actually need like the username and the API key. API keys. Create an API key. So basically, like, this is Spark Post's interface for creating this. API key, Mastodon, mail, all API permissions. Oh, actually, we can do this. Yeah, this is probably good. So we only want it to be able to send via SMTP. And that should be good enough. I don't want it to do anything more than that. So we'll create an API key. We will copy that, and then we will make some updates. So what we need to look up though is Spark posts SMTP settings. So the client configuration. So this is the host. So we'll put that in here. The port is 587. The encryption authentication is auth login. All right, we got to look these up in the docs. SMTP auth method. All right, so probably want auth method plain. Well, what else? What else is in here? SMTP, login password, SMTP from address. That's fine. SMTP open SSL verify mode. There doesn't seem to be anything in there about that. I'm just going to comment that out for now. Plain SMTP SSL is true, yeah. But what is the username? SMTP injection. Okay, it's interesting. There we go. All right. So we might be ready to start this up, although it is gonna barf because of the database. Which all right, so we'll get out of here. We can, so now we can bring up this instance. We can bring up that instance. Can we? Yeah, we probably can. What I want to know is so when we start this up, it's going to complain that the instance isn't running, or the database is not running and ready to go. So what I'm tempted to do is basically just is do basically like bundle exec rake db migrate. Is that risky? You know what? Let's not do that. All right, so we did make a change here, so we need to bring this over. Let's see. We can delete that. Nano docker dash compose pose.yaml. We'll put this in here. Actually, we do need to make a change to this. Hang on. We need to make sure that Postgres has access to the env so that it will get its DB pass here. Okay. So we'll put this here. We'll save it. And then what we'll do is we'll run... We will run... How are we going to do this? Okay, so we should be able to run this. And then we should be able to do rake db migrate, and it should read our file and migrate our database. What do you mean? My .m production is right there. DB pass variable, no such service web. Is there a web reference in here somewhere still? No. Error, no such service web. Oh. Wait, but I'm a little confused. Why is DB pass not there? All right, let's figure this out. Got cat dot m production db underscore pass is definitely set. Does it need to be like that? That shouldn't matter. Hang on a second. Docker compose m file inter Postgres password. It should be able to use the interpolation, but .env.production. Oh, shoot. We don't need to set these. Right. Okay. All right. I'm going to do something a little different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this, but then I'm also going to add like a duplicate, right? I'm basically going to say Postgres password, and then then Postgres will pick it up by default, right? So this is just basically I'm going to get rid of these, or I'm going to get this. I'm going to put this in here, and I'm going to say equals true, right? And then I'm going to get rid of these two things altogether because this isn't needed. Yeah, that is a better way of doing it. So we'll put these in here. We'll copy the password so that it's the same. And then we will clean up this Docker Compose like I mentioned, right? So we will get rid of this. And we are going to run this in the Mastodon container. So basically what we're doing is we're sort of spinning up our stuff, all the Docker stuff, and I'm running the migrate command from Mastodon, so it migrates the database and gets it all ready, and then we'll basically just bring it back up with the normal command. Hopefully that's what we want. Okay. Nope. Okay. Could not connect to server. Connection bad. 5432. Postgres is up and running. That should be fine. Let's just see here. Oh, it's restarting. So it's not running. Invalid authentication method true. Okay, so something's wrong with that. I think it's that configuration host auth method thing. I'm going to take that out. We'll bring everything down and then try and bring it all back up again. Must not be able to connect to the database. So there's a networking problem. Either that or this is just really slow. Yeah, Postgres is still restarting. Why? Could not load PGA Invalid authentication method true. Oh, it's probably caching that container. Okay. What when we run this, we want to basically get without, it's like without volumes, right, or whatever. All right, let me make sure that I got this. Okay, there's nothing running. We've got some images. Can we just run? Can we just run Postgres? Yeah, that works. Okay, so it was the bad it was the bad thing that I had, or that bad auth host thing that was in here. So I took this thing out and now it's fine. But it's caching. Yeah, -- force recreate. So it's caching the yeah, this is the best way to do it, but this will fix my problem, I think. It's going to get rid of everything. Once we get the database migrated, though, this will start working just fine. I just want to make sure. Yeah, db migrate. Okay, so we have the right commands. It's just migrating the database. And we're on here so we can see it. Postgres is still restarting. What the heck? Could not load pgconf, invalid authentication method true. All right, something is... What does that mean? I mean, maybe we do need that? This is very strange. Okay. It must not like something in the M file. I don't know what it is, but it must not like something in there. So what we'll do is we'll make a separate file for Postgres. We will bring these two things over by themselves. And we will use just the Postgres password in here. That way there can be no confusion. So what I'm doing is I'm basically saying, all right, don't use the same one. Just do this, right? So that's all I'm doing. Unless there's something crazy, maybe I'm misunderstanding what they did in here with their internal network. Oh, this is trust, not true. Huh. Okay, that's a problem. That is trust. Okay, that is probably our issue. Always read the documentation, folks. All right, so if this works, our database will get migrated. And we will be in good shape. All Still restarting. What? Ay, 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 ay. Invalid authentication method true. Alright, something's off. Something's being cached or something, because I've fixed the M file issue. Yeah, I've fixed that. Postgres host auth method equals trust. All right, so I guess we'll try running Postgres just with this. Postgres host disallow anyone with access to Postgres port to access your database without a password. No, that's not what we want. We want a password. Okay, well, I don't know why that's in there. That's bad news. Okay, so if you run this, it will start up. Yeah, so this is the problem, is that like it like caches stuff. Warning, trust for local connections, right? Yeah, so this is no bueno. So we don't want that. Right. So now if we prune and we run this again, we should not see that stuff about host auth. Dun, dun, dun. Enabling trust authentication for local connections. No. Why does it do that? What am I missing? I don't want any cache or volume or anything. I want it to start fresh every time. Yeah, I want no more volumes. Okay, that's fine. Maybe this is just the Postgres default? Okay, anyways. This should all be gone, and we should be able to run our stuff. I don't think I've ever had this much trouble with a basic Postgres database in Docker, so something's really off. I should have just written the thing from scratch. Probably wouldn't run into this, but we'll see. It's still clearly not connecting. And this is still restarting. I don't understand. Invalid authentication method true. Where's true coming from? I am truly stumped. Could not translate hostname Postgres to address. Temporary name failure and RAM resolution. Okay. All right. We are gonna go the crazy nuclear option. Networks is Mastodon. Emb is emb.postgres. I wonder if it's this. I don't think I've ever used that before. Get rid of all the volumes. I really don't understand what is going on with this container. Okay. That container. What is in this file that is so upsetting? Oh, I'm such an idiot. I am such an idiot. Okay, what's happening is the following. we have a Postgres folder, which is where all of our volumes are. We need to recreate that data. Ah, man. That's just stupid. Okay, my bad. My bad. So now there's nothing in there. We fixed the M files. This should work. Hopefully. Starting, healthy, starting. Yes. There we go. There's all our migrations. Okay. Yeah, I forgot that we set basically the volumes to disk, and me deleting those volumes were not doing anything. So, fun times. Okay, so the migrations ran. Everything's up and running. This should be now fine. And so what we're going to do is take this down. Fix the Docker Compose. And we are going to expose Mastodon on port 3000. And we will do Docker Compose up. So we'll bring this back up. Oops, did I get that wrong? No, this should be fine. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to bring this up. It should be running. We shouldn't see any errors. Rails is up. No. And we should see Elasticsearch seems to be having some trouble. It says max virtual memory errors, VM max map count too low, increase the 2264. Okay, that's fine. We can fix that. So Mastodon is running. I can't get to this because the firewall is probably blocking it, but what I can probably do is curl, and I can show that it's up and running. Oh, no, not WV. So if I wget this, 403 forbidden. Yeah, that's probably true. It's up and running. But this machine does not allow access to it, which is fine. Basically, I have the firewall on the machine to only allow really nothing. So that's fine. So let's take a look at this Elastic thing. And then we'll take a break and maybe we'll do the DNS stuff later. Bootstrap checker. Max virtual memory errors. VM max map count is too low. Increase it to this. Okay. Sure. Is that an option? Let's see if we can figure that out. Mastodon. BM max map count. Okay, so I'm on Alpine. And I need to increase this. Okay. Fair enough. To at least 262.114. Okay. I can get down with that. Etsy.conf. Oh. Gonna add this there. Do as ctl-p. Okay, so this should no longer complain if I bring it up, right? Okay, seems like Elastic is happier. Yeah. Okay, Elastic is up, I believe. I still don't think this is going to work just because of the firewall I have set up, but that's fine. If I do that, I get forbidden. So after you run, setting up your new instance, is there like a special, oh, after signing up in the browser. You can now visit your domain in the browser. But this is giving me 403. Well, okay, either way, let's get ourselves onto this machine. Let's forward the port. Let's just see if we can get that going. I just don't remember exactly what the way to do this is. So this is SSH-L. I'm going to say the local port 3000 to the remote port 3000. Oh, no, this. that didn't work. Destination server, SSH server hostname. Yeah, I want local port forwarding. SSH-L 3000. No. Yeah. What am I missing? Yeah. It shouldn't be logging in. That's what I'm confused. Is it this? No. Come on. It should be this. No, it's not running. Oh. I don't want dash. I want this like this. Cannot listen to port 3000. There we go. Okay. Is this not listening? Mastodon. Oh, there's two of them. What? No, that's no good. That's no good. Why is... Oh, one streaming, one sidekick. Okay. Yeah. All right, my bad. 0003000. Yes. Okay. Address already in use. Cannot listen to port 3000. So I think we have to start this. Something already listening on 3000. I think it's my firewall. I think I'm not going to be able to do this. Okay. Well, we'll pause it there. I mean, we have it running. Now we just have to expose it, which should be pretty straightforward. We'll come back, and what we'll do is we'll do the Cloudflare setup, which uses the Argo tunnels. And then we'll have access to our Mastodon server. So yeah, we'll be back in a bit. We'll take a little break and figure the rest of this out.